Thrain did not stay long after the camp burned. The screams followed him for miles, echoing inside his skull even when the land fell silent. He wrapped Edrin in a cloak taken from a dead overseer and carried him until his arms went numb. The boy's body was light, too light. Each step felt like a judgment. He did not know where to go at first. Rage had driven him to the camp. Habit and instinct carried him away from it. But now, with his son breathing but absent, the path ahead blurred. By dusk of the second day, he reached the Valley of White Stone. The nuns' complex rose from the earth like something carved from bone. Simple walls, no banners, no guards, only bells that chimed softly in the wind. Women in plain robes met him at the gate. They did not ask for coin. They did not recoil from the blood on him or the deadness in the boy's eyes. They had seen this before. "He still breathes," one of them said after a long examination. Her voice was calm, practiced. "The damage is deep. The blows to the head were many." "Can you fix him?" Thrain asked. The nun met his eyes and did not lie. "We can keep him alive. We can keep him clean. We can pray." That was not enough, but it was more than nothing. Thrain stayed one night. He sat beside Edrin's bed, holding his hand, speaking softly of hunts and rivers and laughter. The boy did not respond. At dawn, Thrain kissed his forehead, stood, and left. He did not look back. Outside the valley, a fire burned low between two stones. A man sat beside it, sharpening a short sword with slow, deliberate strokes. His hair was iron gray, his beard braided with bone beads. A leather patch covered his left eye. Rogar One Eye looked up and grinned. "Thought you were dead," Rogar said. Thrain stopped. "Thought the same of you." Rogar stood, favoring his right leg. They clasped forearms, tight, grief, the way men do when words would fail them. "I heard stories. A man killing slavers across 3 borders. Sounded like you." "There's one left," Thrain said. Rogar nodded. "Then I walk with you." They moved fast. Rogar knew the land south of the flats, knew the trade roads and the men who profited from human misery. Around the fire that night, Rogar shared what he knew of the 5. The second man, the one who handled sails and routes, had taken refuge in a ruined watchtower near the old border stones, surrounded himself with hired blades. Clever, careful. "He won't come out easy," Rogar said. "He doesn't need to," Thrain replied. They reached the tower 3 nights later. Thrain waited until the guards changed. Rogar took the first sentry silently, knife slipping between ribs. Thrain took the second with his bare hands, crushing the man's throat until the gurgling stopped. Inside, the second man screamed when Thrain kicked the door in. He was thin, nervous, hands stained with ink and coin. He tried to flee. Rogar broke his knee with a downward stomp that echoed off stone. They bound him to a chair. At first, the man lied. Thrain removed his fingers one by one. At first, the man screamed. Thrain waited until the screams turned to sobbing. Then the truth spilled out in gasps and blood. Children sold by the dozen, camps that moved when authorities grew curious, buyers who paid extra for strong boys. Edrin had been sold south, then resold, worked until collapse, beaten when he slowed. "He was alive when I last saw him," the man wept. "I swear it." That had been months ago. Thrain leaned close, his voice low and steady. "Who ordered the beating?" The man shook his head violently. "Not me, the overseers." Thrain drove a blade through his thigh. "Names." The man broke completely then, rattling off every name he knew, every camp, every route. He told them of the last 3 men, the 4th already dead by Thrain's hand, the 5th hiding behind walls and hired steel on the trade road. When the man had nothing left to give, Rogar looked at Thrain. Thrain nodded. The man died slowly. They burned the tower and walked away as dawn crept across the land. Rogar spoke after a long while. "You found the boy." "Yes." "Alive." "Yes." "But—" Thrain stopped walking. His shoulders sagged just slightly, like a structure finally failing under too much weight. "He breathes, but he is gone," Thrain said. Rogar said nothing. He understood enough. They reached the trade road days later. The last man's fortress loomed ahead, stone walls, banners snapping in the wind. Mercenaries patrolled the perimeter, confident and bored. "That place will cost us," Rogar said. Thrain stared at the walls, seeing not stone, but a face, laughing, cruel, unforgettable. "I have already paid," Thrain said. That night, Thrain dreamed, not of fire or blood, but of Edrin running through tall grass, laughing, whole. He woke with his face wet and his jaw clenched so tight it ached. At dawn, they began their final approach. The hunt was not over. It had only narrowed.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to smash that like button or go to our YouTube channel to hear the complete story at Storytellers Drive-Thru.